Everyone. I'm extremely happy to be part of this program in the evening. So, research, once it was a dream to many, now it's available to everyone. The traditional research based on paperwork and hard work. The modern research based on internet and interaction. The sources and resources are scanty in those days and is manifold in the present era. We ran pillar to post in search of information. Now it's handy to all who need. Statistical methods by S.P. Gupta is the statistical Bible for every researcher in those days. And then Excel came as a rescue measure to perform basic calculations. Now, the researchers are bestowed with number of statistical tools, with sophisticated statistical softwares. To quote a few, SPSS version ranging from 16 to 26, AMAS, PLS, Listral, Gretel, eViews, R programming, R Studio, Minilab, MATLAB, statistical analysis software, and so on and on. It is the duty of the researcher to develop interest and to explore the possibilities with the fullest potentialities to come out with innovative ideas and inventions. In this context, the efforts taken by the Department of Logistic Management, headed by Dr. Sivakumar and the Faculty of Management, along with Shanlax Research, Madurai, who are doing magnificent services to the researchers in terms of teaching and publishing the research papers. And the research partner, I know nothing about them. Thanks for everyone for giving me this rare opportunity, and especially to Dr. Ayyappan, who has the confidence in me and gave this opportunity of sharing my ideas on structural equation modeling with AMAS. I hope everyone will get a little bit of idea on the basics of performing SIM today. So once again, good evening to everyone who are connected here. So let me start my presentation with the structural equation modeling. The full form of AMAS is analysis of moment structure. So this is the typical example wherein there's a network connected with various variables and connectors. So my presentation today based on three aspects. One is data preparation. Next is exploratory factor analysis. And the last one is confirmatory factor analysis. First one, so basically we need to identify the variables. So the variables in our hands after entering and editing into any one of the software measures, we need to identify what are the independent variables and what are the dependent variables we have in our hand. So what is independent variable? So here the example goes like this: the exercise participation. Okay, then the dependent variables are health status. So my health based on the exercise that I do every day. My attitude may change positively or negatively based on the exercises I do every day. I may get social support in terms of friends and society when I'm going out as a working for exercise. And then intervention will also change, maybe positively or negatively. Again, this independent variable as well as dependent variable may change according to the topic in our hand. So for one, it may be the independent variable, and for other, it may be the dependent variable. So that's based on the researcher to define and defend what are the independent variables and what are the dependent variable and why. Always, independent variable may be the cause and the dependent variables may be the effect. Reasons and the result. Cause means reasons and effect means the result. And again, we should know what is the data type I have. There are two types. One is numerical, another one is categorical, broadly. So numerical means everything and anything can be expressed in terms of numbers. So say for example, age. I can express my age in terms of numbers, weight, number of children, shoe size. So these are small examples to express the data, numerical data. When we go for the categorical data, it is made up of words and not in terms of numbers. Eye color, gender, blood type, like that it will be going on. So basically, you should know what is in your hand is whether it is a numerical data or categorical data. And again, numerical data can be categorized into continuous data and then discrete data. So you know the difference between these two. If the items are able to categorize into some class interval, the magnitude of class interval may decide the class interval. Okay, so that is what is known as continuous. And then discrete, this is based on the frequency. And then categorical data may be ordinal or nominal. Ordinal means it's based on some order. Okay, whether it is severe or whether it is fine or whether it is strongly agree. So like that, this is based on some order. Nominal means it has no order at all, just naming of the items. So there's the broad category and subcategory of the data. So normally data numerical and non-numerical. That means numerical as well as categorical. So this we can say it in other words, quantitative data as well as qualitative data also. Then under the identification of the variable, we need to map the variables before analysis. Suppose I have the data in my hand in this, like this, only in terms of words and not in figures. So I need to convert the data into numbers. Okay. So here some examples: Toyota, Ford, Mercedes, like that. Okay. So how to map the data? How to convert my data in words into our qualitative data into quantitative data. So I need to give numbers. So here Toyota is replaced by 14 and Ford has been given a number 27 and Mercedes 18. So here instead of writing the names, I'll be writing the numbers so that the numerical, the means the what is given in terms of words or qualitative data has been converted into quantitative data with this mapping technology. In SPSS, we can name it as transformation of data. And the next one is the next step, very important step is we need to check for normality of the data in our hand. Okay, so this is the way in which the single variables can be tested for normality. So go to analyze and then explore descriptive statistics. Under descriptive statistics, the third item is normally we depend upon frequencies or descriptives. So here we can go one more step, that is explore. Under this explore option, we can transfer the figures into the dialog box and then enable the items descriptives. Okay, with a confidential interval, whether it may be 95 or 99. And then under plots, we have stem and leaf. The very important one is normality plots with test. So that will give us this table. Okay, so that will give us this table. This is what is known as test of normality. This is for the, again I'm telling, this is for the single variable. Maybe for age, maybe for income. So like that, maybe for occupation. For one single item, we can very well depend upon this test to check the normality. Okay, so here we will see this one. See the significant. Normally p-value less than 0.05 will be taken for consideration. Here it will be the reverse. So if the significant value is more than 0.05, we will consider it to be the normal variable. So here again we have this normal curve. See the straight line, the dots are being closer to each other. If it is wider or if it is scattered all over, that cannot be considered as a normal one. So this is the checking for normality for the single variable. So these are the basic items a researcher should know and follow before proceeding further in terms of analysis. And again, this is check for normality for multiple variables. If we have multiple variables, number of variables in our hands means we can very well go for this reliability analysis. Okay, so again go to SPSS, go to analyze, go to scale. Here you will find reliability analysis. Okay, enable that, you will get a dialog box like this, reliability analysis. So you can transform whatever the variables you need for calculation, and then enable the items, item, scale, scale if the item deleted, correlations, okay, on the first hand, and then under ANOVA table, enable F-test also, okay. So that will give us some more significance rate. So you will get this one. So this is the answer I got from this enabling the items. Okay. So here you see, here we have Chromebug Alpha. So under Chromebug Alpha, so this is the category. 0 less than 0.6, 0.6 to 0.7, 0.7 to 0.8, 8 to 9, and above 9. Above 9 is excellent and below 6 is poor. So our values can range from 0.6 to 0.9, but 0.8 to 0.9 is always recommended for analysis purpose. Okay, so this is the way in which it can be done. See here in this example, the Chromebug Alpha value is 0.805. So this falls under this category. So it is very good. It is considered as very good. Okay, so like that, we can have it for number of variables. So here we entered 9 variables. For 9 variables, we got the value 0.805. Okay, so that is the recommended one. So like that, you can include n number of items to get the validity of the data. So this is check for normality for multiple variables or for number of variables. Okay, so what will happen if it is less than that? How we can adjust it? See here the reliability statistics is 0.744. Okay, so what can be done? So here number of items 10. Just to see to the, listen to it carefully, just to see to the correlation. Corrected item total correlation. Okay, we'll have it. So see here, find the low rated items. See, question number 7 is having 0.247 as correlation, and question number 10 has 0.201 as correlation. So if we take, so this can be considered as the outlier simply. These 2 items can be considered as outliers in this case. If we take these 2 items away from the sample or away from the analysis, our part can be, this Chromebug Alpha value can be automatically increased. So these 2 can be thrown away like that. In your analysis also, check it like this. Okay, so if this value is lesser, if it is not good, just go to this part. See to the correlated item, find the low correlated item, take away from the analysis, certainly you will get the value higher than the expected level. Okay, so this is the way in which you can do check for normality, the normality test under multiple variables. So we have seen normality test for single variable, how to do it, and how to do it for the multiple variable. So these are all the basic item for data cleaning. Okay, so now we stepped into the exploratory factor analysis, simply known as EFA. So how to do it? Okay, first we should go for the sample adequacy, whether our sample is adequate or not. So here you can find a table under this. KMO value is 0.939 and chi-square, it has 4 digits value, degrees of freedom 153, and the significant value is 0.33. So when the amount of chi-square, the value of chi-square is more, the significant rate will also naturally more. Okay. So with regard to the KMO statistics, see, it is marvelous when it is more than 0.90. Okay. So when it is meritorious, if it is 0.80s, in the sense 0.80s, and if it is middling, if it is 0.70s, if it is mediocre, if it is 0.60, and if it is miserable, if it is 0.50, and it is unacceptable if it is less than 0.50. Okay, so this is the result for KMO statistics. It is marvelous if it is above 0.90, meritorious if it is 0.80, middling if it is 0.70, mediocre if it is 0.60, miserable if it is 0.50, and totally unacceptable if it is below 0.50. 0.50. Okay, so this is the category of KMO statistics. So it is always better to go for 0.8 and above. Then you will get good ranking. Okay, the other one is the last one. A significant result, if it is below or less than 0.05, indicates matrix is the identity matrix. We can very well proceed with the EFA. So without confirming these tests, we cannot step forward into the exploratory factor analysis. And this is the basic and fundamental one before proceeding with the factor analysis. Okay, so this is all about KMO statistics. Then we should go to the communalities. Okay, so under communalities, so we have initial and then extraction. Okay, see to the extraction, see the values here. It should be above, sorry, so it should be above 0.4. So normally keep it in mind, it's better to have 0.04, but keep it in mind, always go for 0.5 and above. Higher goes, higher, better will be the result. If the values are high, better are the values. Okay, so this is the way in which we can decide based on communalities. First, we have to decide the sampling adequacy with the help of KMO test. Second, we should see the communalities. So if the communalities values are below 0.5, we can take up the variable. Okay, we can take off the question from that. Then only and the sample adequacy or the value will be perfect. Then see the factor structure. This is the ideal one. This is the ideal one. See, this is the pattern matrix in which we got the ideal value. There is no overlapping at all. There is no overlapping of the variables. This is the clean data. This is what is known as the clean data. So this is the interrelated correlations. So this is the final result. So the result should be like this. Otherwise, we need to revise and fit our data for this structure. So this is the factor structure available. Then go for convergent validity. So this is based on the sample size again. So this factor analysis, or this is exploratory factor analysis based on the assumption of linearity. So what do you mean by linearity? Normality and linearity. So what is normality? When n increases, it attains normality. If we start tossing up of a coin, for 10 times, we won't get the value 5:5. Okay, but if n increases, it may be beyond 100 or 150, we will get exactly 50:50. So this is the ideology behind the normality test. Okay, so here for 50, sufficient factor loading 0.75. So when the sample size is going on and on, the sufficiency of factor loading is less. So the ideal is 0.33 is the ideal one. So above this 0.33, we can take it into consideration for this factor analysis. Okay, so this convergent validity means that the variables within a single factor are highly correlated. Okay, so regardless of the sample size, always take the value between 0.5 and 7 for each factor. So that is the ideal one. For individual values, 0.5, on an average, it should be 0.7. So this is the way in which convergent validity can be tested for this exploratory factor analysis. Then comes discriminant validity. So this is factor correlation matrix, otherwise known as transformation matrix. Okay, see here the factors are being interrelated to each other. So the ideology behind this discriminant validity is the factors should be related to themselves and again shared with others. See the leading diagonal part, it is perfect correlation, 1, 1, 1, 1. And for the others only, it changes the variables. Okay, so it refers to the extent to which factors are distinct and uncorrelated. The rule is that the variables should relate more to themselves and less to other variables. Okay, so this is the case. Here too, the ideal value is 0.7 only. So this is discriminant validity. Next is phase validity. So what do you mean by phase validity? So we need to give names to the factors identified or the factors filtered under each cases. Maybe we will get 4 factors or 5 factors and so on. So that needs to be named. So how we can name the items based on the commonality or based on the common idea that falls under a particular factor. Okay, so that is what is known as phase validity. If the items filtered are not common, then there is no chance for this phase validity. Okay, the common factors must be located within that. Again, reliability, we can go for the Cronbach alpha. Already we have seen the idea, isn't it? So above 0.8 is suitable one. See the reliability statistics, 0.984. This is the most suitable one. So the same thing we have seen already, 0.6, 0.6 to 7, 7 to 8, 8 to 9, and then above 0.9. About 0.9 is excellent, very good, good, then medium, and then low. So this is the way in which it can be mentioned as well as explained. So here the value is 0.984. So it falls under the category of excellent. So this is phase validity and then reliability. Okay. So that's all regarding the exploratory factor analysis. Now we are stepping into the basics of AMAS. Okay. So here we can see 4 geometric symbols. The first one is circles, otherwise known as ellipses. This represent unobserved latent factors. Okay, unobserved latent factors. Then we have squares or rectangles. This represent observed variables. Okay, numerical variables are available here, represented by this squares or rectangles. And then single-headed arrows that represent the impact of one variable on another. How B is impacting by this A. Then double-headed arrows represent the correlation between the variables. How far A and B are interrelated to each other. So that is represented by this double-headed arrow. So only 4 items. One is circle or ellipse, and then square or rectangle, then one-side arrow, then two-sided arrow. Okay. So these are all the 4 symbols that we commonly use in the AMAS software. And then we have formative versus reflective. Okay, see the arrows. This is the ellipse, isn't it? So here from the arrow ranges to the other part, variables, and these are all error terms. Okay, so here diet is here. So this diet is based on eat healthy food, then do not eat much junk food, and I have a balanced diet. So these are all based on the diet pattern or lifestyle of the individual. Okay, so here see the arrows, which is a reverse, So my health is based on I have a balanced diet, I exercise regularly, I get sufficient sleep each night. Okay, so here another error term is here. So this is what is known as residual error. Okay, so this is a reflective and this is formative. So that we should know. So this is impacted by this and this is impacted by these factors. So that's why the arrows are in the reverse form. Okay. So another example. Here another example, service quality. So measures are affected by price, promotion and product. Okay. Then fever. If I have the fever means the fever may cause body ache, headache. So like that it will be going on. So these are the examples for reflective versus formative. So these are the basic for AMAS. Now we step into the confirmative factor analysis. So exploratory factor analysis give an idea how far our our variables are fit into analysis. Are they ready for analysis with the clean data, clear-cut data? Okay. So here we are confirming whether our data are confined with certain restrictions. So for that we have chi-square. These are the threshold measures and then threshold. See, chi-square. Less than 3 good. Above 5 sometimes permissible, not always. And then p-value for the model, always it should be less than 0.05. And then CFA, 0.95, 0.90. So sometimes 0.80 is permissible, but recommended value is always 0.90, above 0.90. Then GFI, the same thing, above 0.95. AGFI, 0.80 above. SRMR, above 0.09. RMSCA, 0.05 is good. 0.5 to 0.10 moderate, above 0.10 is bad. So it should range between 0.05 to 0.10. And then p-value close to 0.05. Okay, so these are the threshold limit for confirmatory factor analysis. And then these are other specific measures given by. So this is the classification of fit measures. The fit measures are commonly categorized into absolute fit indices, incremental fit indices, and then parsimony fit indices. Under absolute fit indices, we have goodness of fit, badness of fit. So goodness of fit, GFI, AGFI, that we have considered there. Badness of fit, chi-square, RMSR, SRMR, then RMSCA. Then incremental fit indices, again, goodness of fit, NFI, NNFI, CFA. When we do the calculation, I'll show you all these things. TLA and then RNA. And then under parsimony fit indices, goodness of it is equal to PGFA and PNFA. So while we are giving the interpretation, either we can follow the threshold, the given threshold, or you can take it into consideration, all these items, and give the narrations for that. Okay. Then modification indices. If our data is not fit for the analysis, or it couldn't meet the standard level of fitness, we can go for modification indices. So that will give us the suggestion for remedies. This modification indices will give us the suggestion for remedies. The discrepancies can be set right with the help of this modification indices. See here, this is the acceptable range. There are two factors taken into consideration. Within these factors only, we can do the fittings. Within these only, we can do the fittings. See here, it is unacceptable. Why for? See here, from factor 1, the arrow goes to the factor, from factor 2, the arrow goes to the factor 1. So this is not at all recommendable one. So this is the acceptable and recommended one. See here, this is also unacceptable. Why? The arrow goes. So the arrow shouldn't go like this. Okay. And then this is also not acceptable. So here from the factors, it shouldn't go to the error terms. So this is the only item. This is only recommended for this modification indices. So what is modification indices? It will help us to improve our data to fit for the models. And then validity and reliability. So there are 3 items here: AVE, average variance, then maximum shared variance, and then average shared variance. Okay, so the limit goes like this. For the reliability, CR should be greater than 0.7. That is, CR stands for composite reliability. CR stands for composite reliability. The composite reliability must be greater than 0.7. And then convergent validity, that is AVE, average variance explained, that should be greater than 0.5. And then comes discriminant validity. So here MSV must be less than AVE, that is maximum shared variance should be less than the average shared variance. Okay, then square root of AVE in common, square root of AVE greater than inner constraint correlations. So this is validity and reliability. Okay, so these are all the items coming under AMA software. So here I'll tell you just an example. See, there are 2 items: entrepreneurial model and personal. So these refers triads. So these 2 correlated each other. That will help us to go for challenge and then help them to go for risk taking. So this is path analysis model. See how it should be explained. See, chi-square value, degrees of freedom, probability level, F ratio, comparative fit indices, then GFI, AGFI, and then RMSEA. Okay, so these are all the estimate, these are all the cutoff values, and then validity. So here everything fits into the limit, the threshold. Again, this entrepreneurial items and risk-taking, risk-bearing capacity leads to personal and challenging item. See the result of it. So here, chi-square, not okay. P okay, F ratio okay, comparative fit indices okay, AGFI, it should be more than, okay. In the same way, RMSEA also not at all suitable. So here too, the answer is no. So this model will not be recommended. So the same item, see, only 4 items are compared one after another. See the next one. This is another example. See here, entrepreneurial traits are compared to challenging traits, then risk and then personal. See the result. So this is the result. Okay, chi-square, it should be less than 3. Here it is more than that. The degrees of freedom, P level okay, F ratio, CFI, these are all okay. But this RMSEA, no, and AGFI also, no. Okay, so this model is not at all recommended. See the explanation. So like this, you should give the answer. Among all the path analysis models, the first one, entrepreneurial traits and personal, have a close association connection with challenging traits and risk-bearing traits. And so it can be firmly concluded that it is the entrepreneurial traits coupled with personal traits help the women entrepreneurs to face challenges. Thereby, they can overcome risk. Okay, so comparing 3 models, I'll show it again. See the 2 models. The first one is okay in all the aspects. So this fulfilled the threshold in all the aspects. So here, no. And the third one also not fulfilling all the aspects. Some are okay and some are not okay. So comparatively, the first one is recommended. So this is the way in which you should interpret the ideas. Okay. So with this, I am ending my presentation. Now we shall pass on to the practical point of view. Okay. So before that, if you have any doubt in terms of all these things, you are welcome to clarify your doubts. So what we have seen so far is the basic criteria. Okay. So if you want, you can clarify your doubts. Any doubt to anyone? Let me show it again. Data preparation, how to prepare our data. We should identify the variables in our hand. Then data should be mapping and then check for normality for single as well as for multiple. So this is how we can find and we can remove the outliers in the data. And then exploratory factor analysis, KMO statistics. And then communalities, factor structure. Everything we are going to do it practically now. This is convergent validity, then discriminant validity. So before that, you should be thorough with all these things. That's all. That's what I'm telling. Then phase validity and then reliability. Again, Cronbach alpha. And then symbols, formative and reflective. And then confirmative factor analysis, which is based on the model indices or model fit indices. We should match up the threshold limit available. If it is not possible to fit into the model, so we can go for modification indices. Thereby we can revise our model. And the last one is validity and reliability. Any doubt to anyone? If you have any doubt means you can very well clarify. Otherwise, we shall pass on to the next one. Okay. Okay. So to perform this analysis, we need SPSS. Okay. So the data must be entered into SPSS. All the data should be entered into SPSS and they should be numbered. I have taken a small set of data to explain in a nutshell how it can be performed. Okay. So this is what I have entered. See to it. See all the items. Naming, type, it should be numerical. Okay. and again with decimal, everything should be clearly mentioned. Then missing items, columns, alignment. See here, it should be in scales. Okay, so if you go here, so you will find scale, ordinal, and then nominal. So it's better to go for scale always for further calculations. Okay, so now we shall step into AMAS. So what is AMAS? The AMAS is, so it from SPSS 20 onwards, you can have AMAS along with the SPSS itself. Okay, so while installing SPSS itself, you can get this AMAS facility also. Okay, so this is the phase of this AMAS, or working area or worksheet of AMAS. So here some rows are available. See here, some rows are available. So this is a rectangle that we have seen already. This is for observed variable. Here itself, you can see the explanation. Okay, if you move the arrow there, you will find the explanation. So this is for the observed variable, and this is for the unobserved variable, and this is draw a latent variable, or add an indicator to latent variable. We use this one, and this is single-sided arrow that we have seen, and this is two-sided arrow. Okay, this is for correlation, and this is for the error term. Okay, suppose if you want to give a title to our model, then you can use this one. Okay, for title, and this is list of variables in model, and this is list of variables in the data set. What are all the items available in the data set? And this is for single selection, and this is for multiple selection, and this is for cancellation of this selection. Okay, this is for duplication, and this is for taking the shapes into one area to another area, and this for cancellation. Okay, so like that we have many items. If you move the arrow mark, you can find it. This is for rotation, and this is for reflection, and this is for final touch. Okay, this is for shaping our item in a beautiful way, and this is for select data files. This is very important, and this is for analysis of properties, and this is for calculate estimates. These three are very vital. And then this is for copy the path diagram to clipboard. We can copy it from here. Okay, so this is output area, and then this is to save the item. Okay, and these three are for zoom in and zoom out. Okay, so this with the help of this one, we can write the items at the top. So this is title, to write it on the top. So here we can write it at the bottom. Okay, so these are all the various, and the same can be printed also. The path diagram can also be printed here. Okay, so for this data set, I'm going to draw it now. Listen to it carefully. Okay, so this is the data set I'm going to. So first we need to import the data. So before that, see the screen. This is a small, isn't it? So if you want, you can view it.
Hello, ma'am. Sorry to interrupt, ma'am. Ma'am, உங்களுடைய PPT தான் மேம் தெரியுது. நீங்க ஸ்கிரீன் ஷேர் பண்றீங்களா மேம்? அமோஸ் அது தெரியல மேம்.
தெரியலையா?
எஸ் மேம்.
ஓகே ஓகே ஓகே.
நீங்க ஸ்டாப் ஷேரிங் போயிட்டு மறுபடியும் உங்களுடைய அமோஸ் ஸ்கிரீனை ஓபன் பண்ணுங்க மேம் ஷேரிங்க்கு. Thank you மேம்.
Is it visible now?
Clear, ma'am.
Amas?
Thank
Amas?
you. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Would you have told it earlier, na? Okay. So these are all the items that I have explained. So this is observed variable, and this is unobserved variable, and this is for latent variable, title, and to list out the items available. This is for single selection, multiple selection. This is for the cancellation, and this is for duplication. This is for moving, and this is for cancellation. If you want to cancel any item, this can be used. This for the rotation.
Please make it beginning itself, madam.
Ma'am, right now you are sharing. Ma'am, right now you are sharing the SEM data of SPSS, ma'am. Variable view, ma'am. We can see your variable view.
What's wrong then? that okay now?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that okay?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Okay, so these are all the items we are seeing it in the third time, isn't it? So just skip all these things. This is observed variables, and this is for the unobserved variables, and this is for the latent variables. This is single-headed arrow, and this is double-headed arrow. This is for correlating items. This is error term, title, and the list of items, selection, and the single selection, multiple selection, and then cancellation. And this is for duplication. Okay, and then this is for moving objects, and this is for the cancellation of objects, and this is for rotate the indicators. Okay, rotation. So if you want to rotate the items, this we can use. So like that, all these items, these three are being very vital for us. So this is selection of data files. This is the first and foremost one, and this is for the analysis properties. What are all the items we want to analyze can be mentioned here, and then this is calculation of estimates. Okay, and again this is for copying, this is for output showing, and this is for saving our data. So if you move your arrow there, you can find the caption there itself. This is object properties, and this is drag properties from object to object, and this is also very, very important, preserve symmetries. If we want to select more than items, we can use this item, and these are all for zooming in and out. And then this is for fitting the data, and this is for labeling, and this is for printing. So like that it will be going on. Okay, so see, the screen is very small. So before that, to make it as a big, you can go for view and then interface properties. Okay, you can go to view interface properties. Here you can enlarge your screen. Okay, see here, page layout is here, formats. You can do number of items here. Then colors are available, typeface, width, then miscellaneous. Okay, then accessibility, everything is available. So go to page layout. Paper size can be converted into landscape A4. Okay, then give apply. You will get a bigger screen now. You will get a bigger screen now. Okay, so now this is the AMAS interface. First one is we are going to select the data files. Okay, so you will get this one. If you click this object, you will get this one. So you need to take a file from where it has been saved. Okay, so go to file name, locate the area. Okay, give OK. So here itself you will get the number also. Okay, okay. So now the files have been, the file has been imported now. So how it can be done? Select data file, go to file name, select the file where it has been stored, and then give OK. Okay, so this is the way in which we can import the file from SPSS to AMAS. Without SPSS, we can't perform analysis in AMAS. So we are importing the files from SPSS to AMAS. Give OK. So it is available now. Okay, so now you can see the data here. List of variables. So what are all the items available here can be seen from this one. Okay, from this one you can see it. See the list of items available. If you want, I can perform it again. Want to repeat? If you want to repeat, I can repeat. Tell me please. Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am. Majority of audience in the chat box, they have said
the
it's
basics.
okay, ma'am.
Okay, okay. So now we imported the variable. Okay, so how to perform it? So we need to draw the items. So how many items are available here? User friendly 5, 5, 3, and then 5. Okay, so we can draw it accordingly. So we can move it wherever we want. So if you want it in a smaller manner, you can also change it. If it is too big for you, you can change it like this also. So follow which one is feasible to you. Again, it's too small. Okay. Okay, first one 5, and again the gain 5, 3, and then 5. Okay. So now we need to transport the values here. First one, user friendly. We can name it, right click, go to object properties, user friendly. Automatically the name will be available here. So like that we can name it for everyone. User friendly, buyer interest, and then attitude, sorry, here only buyer interest. If you want, you can also write it like this. Here one more. Economic value. Okay. So now we can move it. So we can rotate it. Okay, no, whatever the form we need, we can do it in the same line or on the opposite line. So we can design it accordingly. And this is used for beautification. If anything is unlined, we can align it with the help of this one. Okay. Now, the first one is we need to save the data. Then only the operation can be performed. So wherever you want, you can save the data. Name it as model 1. You can save it. Okay. Go to plugins. Now, so we have error items. So name unobserved variables. See, all the error items are being named here. Okay. Now we can draw covariances. See here, plugins itself, we have covariances. So before that, select items. We can either do it individually. See, covariance is available. Okay. Do the deselection. Okay. Now go to analyze properties. So here we have estimation. Under that we have maximum likelihood only. The numerical, no need for this bias. Then directly go to the output. So here minimization history, standardized estimate, then squared multiple correlations, sample moments, everything is available. Modification indices, everything is available. Okay. So just enable all the items. Whatever you want, you can do. Okay. Except this effect. So now run the items. So here economic value, sorry. So if anything goes wrong, it will intimate us. Okay. What is wrong? So we got the answer. So if the answer is right, we will get this red mark. Okay. So now go to the output. This is view text. So here only we can see the output. Now we can see whether the model is fit or not. So everything is available here. So this is the basic one, nodes for model, and then go to estimate. So here we can see the regression weight, standardized regression weight, then covariances, and then correlation, then variances, then squared multiple correlations, and then factor score weights. Everything is available here. So how to check the model is fit? See the regression weight, see to the p-value. So these are all the values which are stated as 0.000, 0.000. And this is the CR value. So here we can see everything should be above 0.196. If it is above 0.196, we can admit all these values to be the significant one. So p-value okay, CR values are okay. Okay. So this is estimate. This is nothing but regression weights. So individual weights are available here. So everything is above 0.6. So this is applicable. And here we can see the individual, user friendly to economic, user friendly to attitude. Like that individual values are given here. Here to everything is significant. By seeing this value, we can say it is significant. Okay, so these are all squared values, squared multiple correlations. So here too everything is, so here it should be expressed in terms of percentage, 69.4 percentage, 54.2 percentage, like that it should be shown. See the model fit. See the model fit, this is the most essential one. See from the beginning. The first one we should see this P and again this CMIN divided by DF. Okay, actually this value CMIN stands for chi-square. So that should be divided by DF. We will get CMIN divided by DF value. So this one should be less than 3. This value should be less than 3. So here it is okay. Then we will go for this GFI 0.869, closer to 0.9. Then AGFI here too closer by 9 but not above 9. Okay, and then we will see this CFI. CFA 0.947, it's okay. And then we will go for this RMSCA. So this should be below 0.80. We got it. This should be below 0.80. So here it is 0.073. Okay. So this is right only. So the model is fit. Otherwise, we should go for this modification indices. If it is not fit, we should go to this modification indices. See here modification indices. See this MI. This MI stands for modification indices. Go to the higher items. See 12, 13 having 23 as a value. So to improve the model, this is the way in which we should proceed. And then A1 to E1 to E5 is 19.906. And here it is 17.851. So like that, the higher loadings can be taken out. So that the model will be more fitter. Okay. So now we can try it for the higher loadings, 12 to 13. Again, go to that view. 12 to 13. So here it is. Take this double arrow, 12 to 13. Use it like this. Okay. So take this pen, do it in a, okay. So first one over. Go to the next one. So this we completed 23 point and again 19.125. So take this again, go to 125. See again, as I already told you, it should be within that factor only. That should never cross the area that we have seen already. With this we can beautify it. Okay, see it covers the outside area, so we can use this one, resize the path diagram to fit on a page. By doing this, it can be fit. Okay, so we have done 2 items, 2 modification indices. Now let's try it. Okay, let's run and try the model. Any changes? See the model fit now. This is more closer. This is more closer. And then here it comes down again. It should be 0.08, but here it comes 0.058. See the modification indices? Not much. Not much loadings are here. Only 17.962. So that available. E10 to 16. That's not needed. If it is needed, we can do it. Okay. So this is the best model only. Best fit model only. Have you got an idea now? So this is the way in which it should be done. So before that, we can go for the, that I missed actually. Can you see it? Can you see the SPSS table?
No, madam. Almost stable, madam.
Okay. Again, I'll share. Right? Can you see it now? Can you, okay. So go to analyze. First is scaling, reliability statistics. See the reliability statistics, it is 0.909. See the Chromebook alpha for individual values. Here too everything is above 0.9. Along with that, you can check this ANOVA also. See here F value and then significant value. So this is one more item to validate our result to be significant or not. Okay, so if it is significant, it can be, it will give one more point to our data. So the first part is over. We have seen this scaling is over. Now we shall go for the factor analysis. Reduction, go to descriptives, enable initial solution along with KMO. Okay, continue, and then go for extraction. You can go for scree plot. Okay, so if you want the number of factors to be limited into our control, we can go for fixed number of factors, otherwise no need for that. Okay, so if you want, so instead of getting 8 to 10 factors, if we are in need of 4 to 5 factors, you can give this fixed number of factors. Okay, whatever you want. So let's see here. If the number is more, we can limit it with the help of this one. And then go to rotation. Here Varimax can be enabled. And then score, nothing to do for us. And then go to options, sorted by size, and suppress small coefficients, absolute value below. So here too you can specify whatever you want. If it is 0.10, you can specify. Based on the nature of the data, you can put this limit. Okay. Now see the result. KMO 0.883, that is more than sufficient. See the extraction, everything is above 0.5. This is communalities that we have seen. Here it is, all the items are above 0.50. And then this is total variance explained. One more thing you can see here, this is the total variance, 74.75%. 74.75% has been extracted, that is the good measure. Okay, so this is the scree plot. See, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 factors can be extracted. So that we can.
Madam, output file is not visible, madam.
So everything should be shared separately, is it? Is it visible now? Is that okay? Can you see it?
No, ma'am.
Huh? No.
No, it is not visible.
Is that okay now?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that okay? Okay. So this is what I'm explaining. So from here, isn't it? See, reliability statistics 0.909 for 18 number of items that should be stated along with the interpretation. So here Chromebook alpha for the individual items, everything is above 0.9. So you can always have this ANOVA test also. So that's why there itself you can give F ratio. So initial statistics and again this KMO test, and then you can go for F test also, you will get this output ANOVA. Okay, so you can specifically write this table and this table for the reliability test. Okay, so this will give justification for the analysis with the help of significance test. And then see the factor analysis, the value is 0.883. See the extraction communalities, we have more than 0.5. Okay, more than 0.4 is recommended, and here all the values are above 0.5. So we can strongly go for the other case. If it is below that limit, you can very well take away that particular variable from the analysis. Okay, so this is the total variance explained. See here, it is 74.75% has been extracted. It's a good measure. See the scree plot. The scree plot will tell you the divisions 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this is the limit. So beyond this limit, it is sloping upward. This refers the number of variables extracted. So here we have 4 items. Okay. So the first component matrix principle. See here, rotated component matrix. See how perfectly it turned out. In all the cases, we won't get like this. Okay. So this is the cleaned data. That's why you got this one. Otherwise, we won't get this much. Okay. So that's why again and again, we should clean the data. So that's why all these measures are available. That's why all these measures are available. We should clean the data. We can take away the data. Then only we can get this type of output. Okay. So this is the output available. Right. So this is the component transformation matrix. So this is nothing but the correlation. So what I told you, within the item, it should be more correlated, and the sharing of the items should be less. See the first one within 1, okay, 0.16, and it shared more than its interavailability with the second component also. Okay, and then 2 to 2. So here it is negative, it is more shared with the first one. So this is how we can give the interpretation. Nothing wrong with this, but we can give the interpretation accordingly. Okay, and the interrelation is smaller, but it is related to, it is sharing with other factors. So like that, we can give the interpretation also. Okay, so these are the items. So this is the output we have. This is with regards to the exploratory factor analysis. So under exploratory factor analysis, we shall first go to the reliability statistics, and again go to KMO, and then see to the communalities, and then total variance explained. And then this is for just to validate the result some more fruitfully. That's why we shall go for the screen plot. This is not a must. Okay. And again, no need for the first one. Go to the rotated component matrix, you'll get it exactly. See here, some values, 4s are here. So here it is the clean data. That's why we got it like this. Okay. After completion of this one only, we can step into the AMAS. Okay. So first part is, we should do the basic calculations, exploratory factor analysis in the SPSS. And again, we can step into the AMAS. Okay. And then only we will get the output for AMAS. Is it visible? Is the AMAS is visible? Is the AMAS output visible?
No, ma'am.
Okay, okay. So everything should be shared again. Okay. So after the completion of EFA only, we can step into this one. So now we have seen it in the output data, isn't it? So model fit. So you can very well copy this and take a part of Word. So you can paste it in the Word. Put the heading as model fit summary. And again, you can draw table and take the needed items only. Is it clear? Is it seen Word file? Can you see the Word file?
No, ma'am.
No, okay.
We can only see the output of the AMAS, ma'am.
Okay. For every time, again and again, it should be showed, it seems. Okay. Is it visible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So no, we don't want all these items. So you can extract only the needed items by taking a table. Okay, go to insert, draw a table. So here, so what are all the items we need? CMIN. This is nothing but values, then threshold, threshold, or you can put it as limits. Okay, threshold or limits, whatever you want. So here put it as categories or items. Categories or items. Here it is remarks. Under remarks, you can put it as whether it is yes or no. Okay. So let me show it from here. Okay, so these are all the items needed. This is how you can express. Okay. So these are estimates, these are cutoff values or threshold or limits, and this is the validity or remarks. So if it is within the threshold limit, we can give an S. Okay. F ratio, it is less than 3. Therefore, yes. Comparative CFA, it is more than 0.90. Therefore, yes. GFA also, AGFA also, these are all above 0.90. Therefore, we put it as yes. So here it is 0.00, which is less than 0.08. Therefore, it is yes. So like that, you can conclude. Okay. If it is not yes, again, we should go for the modification indices. If S are less and no's are more, we should go for the modification indices. Okay. Then one more item, we have seen the validity. Let me share this screen again. Convergent validity. So we have seen this one, modification indices, models over. This threshold limit is over. So before that, this one. Okay. This validity and reliability. So to conclude, we should go for this one.
That screen is not visible now.
So why this one every time need to share again and again? This one. Is it clear now?
Yeah, now it is clear now.
This validity and reliability. Okay. So for that, we should go for composite reliability, average variance, then maximum shared variance, and then average shared variance. So reliability, CR should be greater than 0.7. Convergent validity, AVE should be greater than 0.5. And for discriminant validity, MSV should be less than AVE. Okay. So this is the item. So how we can do it? So I'll show you. So there's the software known as, how many of you know? I don't know. So this is, I got it from StatsWiki. Okay, so let me show how to take it. So everything, every time I need to share it again and again. I'll show you. Is the screen visible?
No, not yet. No.
Not yet. Okay, let me show it again. Let me share it again. Normally in Google Meet and all, one sharing will do for all the things.
Ma'am, in this also you can do the same, ma'am. Go to screen
Oh.
share and share the entire screen, ma'am. On the
Go
top
to
right,
screen.
top left, you can see screen. Yes,
Go
ma'am.
to
Go to screen. Screen share.
basic.
On the top left, you can see the
Okay.
screen. It will share the entire display of your screen, ma'am.
Yeah. It's okay now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
So you can see this start wiki now, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay. So here from, you can download this one. Okay, see? Excel Stat Tools. This is the option available. Okay, so this. So before before performing the function, so under this you should go for this validity master. Then read the assumptions carefully. Your Latin variable names should not be F1, F2 like that. And your error should end up with the E1 like that. Your variable names are not in the following AVE like that. Okay, that shouldn't be duplicate. You have more than 2 Latin variables. You have no Hayward cases. Okay. So if everything is okay, we can take it from the output. Paste standardized regression weights table, okay, and then paste correlation table. These two tables we should extract from the output and then should paste it here. So let me go to the output, standardized regression weight. Is it visible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Go to AMAS. Under estimate, we have a regression, standard regression weight. See the words exactly, standard regression weight. So copy it, just right click it, copy it. So paste it here, exactly. Okay, and then paste correlation. Then go there and take correlation table. So this is correlation. Okay. Now click. See, this is the model. So in a nutshell, we got all these things. Okay. So you can verify it. No validity concern. If any validity concern means it will be stated here. Okay. So take these things. Everything is all right now. So let me check it. See now, CR should be more than 0.7. See the output here. CR. See, all the values are more than 0.7. Can you see both the screens now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
Now, CR okay. AVE should be more than 0.5. See, under AVE, all the items are more than 0.5. And again, MSV should be less than AVE. MSV should be less than. This is MSV should be less than AVE. See, in all the cases, it is less than. Okay. In the same way, this diagonal portion should also be more than 0.7. The diagonal portion. 0.880, 0.832, 0.760, and 0.742. So you can very well copy it and place it here in a Word file. Okay. Then do the interpretation. You can edit it and do the modifications here. So everything is all right. Is it clear now? So this is the validity test. So like that, you can have number of items checked. And for the sample size, you can very well go for this G bar and put all these items. You will get the total sample size along with the normal curve also. This is for the sample size selection. Okay. So that's all we have studied so far. So I think we put all the items. And from this also, you can go for the path analysis. I'll end up with that one. Okay. We shall draw the path analysis for the same item. So for that, what shall we do? We should do one more thing here. So we can add up the items T1 plus T2 plus T3. The naming is somewhat different, but the same data only. So here we can put up the value as TD underscore total. Always it should be mentioned it like that only, underscore total. Okay. Okay. 5 items we have added. Okay. Then again go to transform, compute value. So now you can find this value here, TD total. Okay. Now reset, take up this one. Now find the average, TD underscore AVE, average for this one. How to get it? Divided by, we added 5 items. You okay, you will get it. Okay. In the same way, we shall go for the next one. Again, reset. Now PE1 plus so here you can put it as TE underscore total. Then go to the average. The same way, go to transform. Put reset. Here we have added 5 items. PE total divided by 5. So this is PE average. PE underscore average. Give OK. We have 2 more items yet to be completed. So now we can take 1 plus 2 plus 3. So OC underscore total. Then again transform, reset, OC total, doesn't matter about the normal, divided by, so we have added 3 items. Here it is, OC underscore average. So we need to complete the same for one more item. So now we have JS1 JS5, JS underscore total. Now again go to transform, reset, JS total divided by 5. So here JS underscore average. Okay. Now go to Amos. Take a new one, go to file, take new. Make it bigger. First select the file. Give OK. Just a minute. Okay, the same thing. Let me save it. Now we got the correct one. So now this is observed variable. Okay, this is observed variable. So we can choose this one. This one. You can adjust it accordingly. This is path analysis. So now take up the values. So we can name it, okay. There itself we can name it in the file. We can label it and then job satisfaction. Now save it as model 2. So take the covariance. Okay, so now we should go for this error term. Okay, this is covariance, this is single-headed arrow. Where it goes, we should go for this error term also. Now go to plugin, unobserved values. Okay, so now we shall run it. Under estimation, estimate means and intercepts. See, we got it. So if we click it, you will get the values here. That too the same way only. So if you see the model one also, you can get it. Okay, so if we click it, you will get the entire value. Then go to output now, as usual. So here too, we will get the same thing. Okay, so here it should be within 3, but it is above 3, CFI above 9. Okay, so like that we can see the items one by one, whether it is fit or not. RM SCA, it is 0.143, but it should be within the limit of 0.080. Okay, so we should go for the modification indices. That is not enabled, I think so. So here you should enable the modification indices. See, modification indices. Again, run it. Here the values. So whenever you give the output, it should be shown along with the values only. Go to the output now. See the model fit. This is the case. Therefore, we are going for the, if it is above the limit, certainly we should go for the modification indices. So here, no chance of changing. See, nothing is to be changed. Here only one item, ET2 average. E2 to average. So which average? TD, I think. Only one item is available. Okay, TD average to E2. Let's try. So to enable, this should be enabled. Now, TD to E2. Again, run it. Check the output. Now the model fit is 2.333. So, which came within the range of 3, below 3, CFI 0.992, and then PNFI okay. Then go to, so whatever you want, RMSCA, it is 0.086. That came closer to the threshold limit. Okay, so like that we should see the items one by one. Again, go to the modification indices. There's no chance at all. That is the maximum limit. So in such a case, you can revise it accordingly. So instead of these two, you can modify the other one. So OC can come here and the PE can come here. Like that, you can. I have shown an example to you know that we have changed the items. So like that, you can change and find the fit model. Okay, exactly with all the threshold should satisfy the model. So this is how it should be represented. So this is the item. See this model here, everything is yes. This model here 3 no's and here 3 no's. So therefore, which one is the best model? First one is the best model. So the same items we are interchanging to get the best fit of the model. So like that, you can also change and find the most fit model. Okay. So that's all regarding this SEM. If you have any doubt, you can clarify it. Okay. So we have seen exploratory factor analysis, both in theory and practical. So in the same way, we have seen the other part of AMAS model fit also we have seen. Okay. So if you have any doubt, you can clarify it now.
AGFI value and GFI value is not visible. My questions.
Okay.
From where is it adjust, ma'am?
Where we can get it, right? Where from we can get it?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Huh?
Yes, ma'am.
So for
Yes,
path analysis, we won't get the entire data, but for structural equation modeling, we will get it. Okay. So we have seen 2 items, isn't it? See, under model 1, this is structural equation modeling. So here you will get it exactly, but for path analysis, some items are not visible and not available actually, because the pattern of this is entirely different. There it is entirely different. There are only observed values we will take. Okay. So here see the output, you will get it. Get
Okay, ma'am.
everything, you'll
Thank
get
you.
it. Okay, so that's the problem. It is unobserved, that it is observed variable. So I think there's a question in the chat box. Where we can download AMAS. So it came along with the SPSS version itself.
Ma'am, there is another question posed by someone else. If either KMO
Either
or
KMO
Cronbach
or
alpha
Cronbach
are
alphas
yes,
less than 0.5, then shall we proceed with the tools or not? It's not advisable. Okay. So we have seen from the indices, it is dangerous. If we go with the testing, if we get the values of either KMO or Cronbach alpha below 0.5, that is not at all recommendable. Can we download from SPSS website, IBM?
ma'am, there is
That
another question by
depends.
Dinesh, ma'am.
Other values is
good
good
if
fit, but V value is not fit. The model is accepted or not. So as far as possible, try to fit all the values. If one is not eligible, then it's okay. You should give the justification for that. That's why we have this model. That's why we have put it like this. Okay, if one is not fit, it's okay. So these are the threshold limits. Even if one is not fit, it's okay. Okay, try to fit all the values. If one or two is not available, give it accordingly. No need to change the entire items. Okay. All the time we can't fit all the indices as we need. Sometimes some disturbances must be there. Okay, that can be adjustable and acceptable too. But for each and everything, you should give the validity with the help of theoretical. That I forgot to tell. Before proceeding further, take up the model based on the theoretical evidences. First, you should go for the theory for each and everything. I thought of teaching you with the Maslow's theory, but couldn't get the time to evaluate all these things. Otherwise, I would have stepped into that one. So for each and every item, you should have a model of your own based on some theoretical evidences. Then only you can proceed accordingly. Okay.
ma'am, can you please say what are all the common mistakes made by the researcher when doing the AMOS?
Data cleaning. Unless our data is cleaned with the help of SPSS by taking outliers, with the help of any of the measures, we can take the, there are so many measures are available. What I taught you is the easiest measure. Okay, apart from that, we have so many outliers are available. So with the help of any one of the outliers, you can take away the unnecessary ones or unsuitable items. So which are means hampering the analysis, just to take it away. But to apply for AMAS, you need the minimum of 3 items. You need the minimum of 3 items. Otherwise, you can't. See here, 3 items. If I take away one, that is variable could not be used here. So you need a minimum of 3 variables here. So this can be reduced into 4, 3. This can be reduced into 4, 3. This can also be reduced into 4 or 3. So like that, you can take up the outliers. That is the most part of mistakes that people often make. And then with regards to the Cronbach alpha as well as KMO. If we are very particular and clean the data in the initial stage itself, mistakes are being very minimum. But when we use CFA or SEM, we have different fit indices measures where RMSEA value is higher, whether CFA or SEM. Under both the cases, we will get into RMSEA. If that value only be higher, then it can be considered. Okay. That's not the end of the solution. You can manage. Is there any difference between exploratory and that's what we are seeing now? Under exploratory, so that's what I explained. Okay, what is exploratory and what is confirmatory? Under confirmatory only, we will enter into the part of model fit. Okay, under exploratory, we are cleaning the data and we are subdividing the entire item into some factors. That's the difference. Certainly, there is a difference. Without exploratory, you can't step into the confirmatory factor analysis. Okay. So I have taken only the simple steps in an understandable manner, but there's a lot of items to be learned further. Okay. When we explore the items, it will go beyond our imagination and limitations. So this is in a nutshell. I have given you the seeds. You can develop it. You can go for some videos, some literatures. Okay, everything should be supported by the literature. So you can explore